Welcome in, everybody, to Betting Pros. It's time to place your bets. It is me, Joe Pisapia, and this is BP NFL. It's time to look ahead to the best bets of Week 6, and what a Week 5 we had. Terrell Furman on fire, upsets everywhere, just making rain for everybody. The Undertaker back with some more for you as well. Andrew Erickson, and of course, I'm here too, hanging out with you. Don't forget, everybody, make sure you download the Betting Pros app on iOS, on Android. Start betting smarter, not harder. Let us help you get the most out of every single wager you place. And Terrell, you are still relatively new here to the Betting Pros family, so I'm going to introduce you to something called Accountability Buddies. Now, what Accountability Buddies is something that I have been at times for Andrew when he has gone off the rails. Sometimes even I go off the rails, and Andrew has to be my accountability buddy. But we left last week, and we promised everybody that our big argument we would come back and rehash it here on the show. Not only did the Jets lose the game, they didn't cover. Sam Darnold's victorious, and the Jets are without a head coach. So I think it's safe to say that the Vikings handled the New York Jets. Now, look, it doesn't undo all the good you did last week. You did a lot of good on the show. You made a lot of people a lot of money. But I am your accountability buddy today. And go Sam Darnold. Your thoughts?
Yet again, Sam Darnold has found a way to get a Jets head coach fired. And, if I was a Jets head coach, I would keep Sam Darnold far and away. Doesn't matter what it is. I don't want Sam Darnold anywhere near this schedule, anywhere near this team. No way, because he is a cancer to all Jets head coaches everywhere. So, nonetheless, I was wrong about a week where I could hit anything. A week that I could hit anything. I mean, I even came out and hit Garrett Wilson 100+ and a touchdown. Like, come on. In a week that I could hit anything, any bet, even on the money line, 7.5 point dog, 6.5 point dog, doesn't matter. In a week that happens, I still couldn't hit the Jets. And you know what? I'll take that. Oh,
of course.
Nonetheless, I was a defensive touchdown away from covering, though. Defensive touchdown was the thing that was the one. When I saw that happen, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to get this. No matter how close it gets, I'm going to remember that defensive touchdown. And when I check the final score, that's going to be the reason why I didn't win. So, you know what? It is what it is.
I am the Jet Whisperer. And stay tuned, because I got more of a Jets Bills later in the show today. So let's get after it, and let's talk about Week 6 of the NFL. The Jaguars got on the board finally with a W last week, which we all were very confident about. Andrew Erickson, let's start with you here today, because you're going right back to those Jags and the +2.5. Let's talk about it.
I love these London games. You just wake up, I'm a winner. That's what I love to do. So I'm going right back to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's had success more recently playing in London, 2-0 straight up and against the spread in London last season. Favorites are the bets to make usually in these London games, along with the unders. Now, in this particular matchup, the Jaguars are not favored. It is actually the Chicago Bears that are favored. But why are the Chicago Bears favored? Yes, they are the designated home team because the Chicago Bears play really well as the designated home team, but they're not playing at home. They're playing on the road, essentially, because they're playing in London, where the Jaguars are basically the home team. So when you look at upsets, right? Again, talked about how favorites are usually the team to bet on in these London games. Well, the one upset last year was Jacksonville, right? Against the Buffalo Bills. So we've seen Jacksonville in this spot before as an underdog, despite the fact that they are really the home team, and come away with a victory. So I think they're going to build on some of this momentum here against a Bears team that traditionally under Matt Eberflus does not play well on the road. We've seen it already this season. They're 3-0 at home, 0-2 on the road. So they've been able to be effective on offense because they've been able to run the ball against two of the worst run defenses in the NFL the last 2 weeks. Jacksonville's defense, not good, but it's really bad against the pass. I think that the run defense is somewhat decent, and I think it's going to be able to slow down the Bears' run game enough to cause them issues. It's Caleb Williams' first game internationally. It's a new setting and surrounding for a lot of these Jaguars or these Bears players. And Jacksonville, this is a business trip for them. They've done this all the time. They have another game here next week. So I don't think they're getting enough credit for the advantage that they have playing in London versus a Bears team that traditionally plays really bad away from Chicago. So give me the Jaguars +2.5, +2. Jags on the money line. Give me Jacksonville, baby.
Look, I'm with Erickson here. It does feel like the Jaguars home away from home. And I have a lot of questions about a rookie quarterback on this trip. with a team that already is, up and down and really has escaped with a couple victories, period, this year. So let's not give the Bears too much credit here. Terrell, where are you on this one between the Bears and the Jags?
Well, if you have questions about a rookie quarterback, I think I have the answers. So rookie quarterbacks in London are 0-5 ATS, 0-5 straight up. And in fact, they've lost 4 of the 5 games by 14 plus points. So I don't think this is a spot that we want to back a rookie quarterback making this London trip. And then we talk about how we don't trust Matt Eberflus as a coach. You're telling me I want to trust him in an international country? A different country? No, absolutely not. I don't even trust him in this country. So no, I'm not taking Eberflus. And then we have another aspect where Erickson talked about it. The Jags, this is a business trip. So in fact, this stadium, they have a home hotel and an away hotel. The home team stay in the home, away stay. Yeah. So the Jags are not staying in the away hotel. They have their own accommodations because they've been here so much. They already have a relationship with the staff. They know, hey, we get to see the Jags again. Like, they're excited for this. So they don't even have to worry about that. They have their own accommodations. They're ready. And in fact, Tottenham, the Jags are 2-0 in Tottenham when playing in this stadium. 4-5 and playing in Wembley, where they're playing next week. So I think that this is a very, very smash spot. Again, business trip for the Jags. They know how to play this. And then that Cleveland defense that everybody is so good is towards the bottom of the league in rush DVOA. So Tanks Bigsby been really, really good recently. I think this is the build-up game for Travis Etienne to get his confidence back up. They're going to run the ball and take the ball out of Goldilocks' hands so he doesn't lose them the game. I'm taking the Jags all the way.
All right, 3 for 3 here on the Jags. Hopefully it goes well here. Let's get to the next contest here. Terrell, let's stick with you. Let's talk about Tampa and New Orleans. Now, New Orleans is going to be without Derek Carr for a few weeks. So next man up at the QB position. We'll see how that goes here. But a huge game for Tampa. And I feel like, if you had all the stars align, if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like, this is what you want. You want to be playing New Orleans when they're without Derek Carr, and this is your opportunity to take care of business. That being said, what's your approach on this game? Are you on the Tampa side? Are you on the over-under? Where are you?
Yeah, I mean, Gary Kubiak his stock has fallen so much from week 1 to now that it's crazy. And this offense has looked horrible. And now they're throwing out a rookie quarterback against Todd Bowles and his blitzing defense that's going to get after him. I've lived in Columbia, South Carolina when Spencer Rattler was the quarterback there. And I'm telling you, you get pressure into his face and it's going to be an issue. I think the Saints are going to have trouble scoring. And then on the other side, you look at the New Orleans Saints, and that defense has been live all year. Quarterbacks have struggled to get things going. They've defended the pass very, very well. And so I think points are at a premium here. Honestly, truly, if you would like a fun, awesome bet, I think that you should go ahead and take the no touchdown scored for the game. No touchdown scored. If this was a 9-6 game, I would not be surprised. I'm taking the under 41 here.
All right, so we are all in the Jacksonville game. I know anywhere from taking the 2 to just taking the money line straight up. Erickson, what about the over-under for that game too? Just kind of put a button on that London conversation before we move on to the next one.
Well, this is the best way if you're a West Coaster. You wake up, you miss no football that's actually entertaining that you want to watch. You just bet the under because that's what's happened in 6 straight international games. You've gone under the projected total. You're taking players out of their routines. You see offenses not in sync, and I think that's what we're going to see in this matchup. Something that's really important to note when you look at Jacksonville's offense, right? Great week last week because they played the Colts. If you look at what they've done historically, last year, basically, they've scored 30 or more points 4 times since the start of last year. 3 of those times have been against the Colts. So like there's a correlation between their offense playing really well. I do think they can carry some momentum over into this game, which is why I like them. But offensively, I don't think we're going to see the same type of fireworks we saw from them last year or last week against the Colts. So look, Jaguars' last 6 games at neutral venues have gone under the total. 6 of the Jags' last 9 games have gone under the total. 4 of the Bears' last 6 games have gone under the total. All the trends are under. Bears' last 5 games on the road, under the total, right? So all the trends for these 2 teams, for this venue, across the pond, are all under. So I'm just going to continue to ride the trends.
And 44.5 is a pretty solid number too. Like that's not like
it's
like a
it's pretty high.
We're looking at. That's pretty high. So yeah, I'm in with you on this one. I've already bet it. Go ahead, follow us, bettingpros.com/Terrell/Joe/ Erickson, get it on there. Also, don't forget, while you're at it, make sure you join our Discord as well if you need more information or you're looking for picks. It's bettingpros.com/chat. Again, even if you're just new to sports betting, it's a great way to get involved with the community of people who are passionate about it. So you can join our exclusive betting Discord community at bettingpros.com/chat. You get free picks from the expert handicappers. You can connect with other bettors, as I said before, and you can really bring your betting strategy to the next level, not just listening to the podcast, but also being part of that community right now. And speaking of which, even if you are new to wagering or wagering isn't legal where you are, you can still have fun and make picks when you download the Betting Pros app, because we have that NFL podcast group too. All you have to do is sync your picks and use the quick pick feature on the Betting Pros app. It's super easy to do. You can win prizes. We get weekly prizes, monthly prizes. So get some free stuff, make some picks, have some fun. Even if you can't win money, maybe you can win some free stuff. So again, check it out over there as well. Let's get to the next pick on the board here. Let's go to the Packers. So the Packers here with Jordan Love disappointed me a little bit last week, Terrell. I'm not going to lie. I was looking for more fireworks from the Green Bay offense. I got Tucker Kraft, and the rest was kind of mid. They're taking on the Arizona Cardinals, coming off a huge victory. They are favored by 5. Do you think that is correct?
Yeah, I think that, well, I don't think it's correct. I think that it should be more, because I think the Packers are going to cover, because the Jordan Love is an experience that you have to be ready for, Joe. As somebody who every week does a spot on Green Bay radio, I understand you got to be up and down. It's going to be ugly, but it's going to be so great too. And I mean, he's going to carve up this Cardinals defense coming off the letdown spot after beating the 49ers last week. I think going into Green Bay, that's going to be a tough little matchup. And then the Packers look really, really healthy now. Dubs is off of his suspension for asking for more playing time. Who knows? He was suspended, but now he's back.
Man.
Christian
he wants
Watson.
His targets.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, when you have Christian Watson, Romeo Dubs, Jalen Reed, Dontavian Wicks, like you have so many options, and I think that's it. Like they just can't cover all these options, and Jordan Love is so good with spreading the football around. He just has to limit the turnovers. That's the thing that we really, really need. Limit the turnovers, and I think that this is a cruise into a nice cover. Josh Jacobs is running the ball really, really well, and I'm looking for the letdown spot. I think that there's questions for me in this Cardinals offense and how they look in second half of games sometimes. And so I really, really do like this Packers laying the 5.
I'd love to see Christian Watson back. I don't know if we're going to get it this week, but hopefully soon. I just want to see Christian Watson play football with Jordan Love at the same time. That's all I want for Christmas. Please, can I have it? Let's get to the Eagles coming off a bye. They're taking on the Cleveland Browns, who can't get over their over last week's loss or out of their own way, maybe. I don't know. The Cleveland Browns just like an organization that is just doomed forever. But hopefully for the Eagles, you're getting back some key wide receivers. You're having a little bit of rest time. Could not be a more perfect time, I think, for the bye week for the Philadelphia Eagles. So let's talk about this here. How do you want to approach Cleveland-Philly, Erickson?
Yeah, I think that the Eagles are in a great spot, kind of like you alluded to, talking about getting all the toys back for Jalen Hurts, Lane Johnson, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. We're going to see this offense back at its peak performance, which has been missing the last couple of weeks with Jalen Hurts. So you look at the spread, right? It's a massive number. I think, 9.5 now the Eagles are favored. I just can't do that large of a spread. So I'm looking at it as just give me the over in this game. I think that the Eagles are going to be able to put up points against the Cleveland Browns. We talked about this last week with the Browns and the Commanders. The game went over the total. The Commanders just put up all the points on the Cleveland Browns, and the Browns did nothing, and it still went over the total. So that's how I kind of view this game, because what if, I don't know, the Browns take Deshaun Watson out. They put Jameis Winston. He throws 2 touchdowns because that's what he does. And then you don't cover the big spread. But what happens? You still go over the game total. So the fact that it's at 42.5, 11 of the Browns' last 13 road games have gone over the total. The Eagles are 7-2 towards the over at home since the start of 2023. The Browns have been a bottom 5 run defense. So whether it's through Saquon, whether it's A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, I'm very confident the Eagles offense is going to put points here. And the other thing that kind of gets me away from the spread, I'm not sure who mentioned it to me earlier this week, but Jalen Hurts has been a bit of a turnover machine, which I don't like. Yeah, it was you. So that again concerns me from a point of I don't know if I want to be laying 9.5 points with the Eagles when the Browns get to pick 6. Oh no, now they're down by 7 points. Whereas, I just want points overall. So I'm just kind of following the process with last week where whenever Deshaun Watson gets the ball, it's either going to be a pick 6 for the other team or an 80-yard touchdown to Amari Cooper, because eventually that's going to happen. He's going to connect on one of these deep plays. So Eagles are also very bad in terms of missed tackles. Their defense has been missing tackles all over the place this season. So give me the over, especially, again, I was really surprised. 42.5. I know the Browns offense is bad and horrible, but their defense has also been horrible as well. So you can take the over.
Well, on Monday, we talked about on the Look Ahead show, that was my big fear is do you get the Winston appearance and do you get garbage time points? And that is my biggest fear. I'm with you. I like the over in this one too. I think that's probably the best, safest way to approach this game for sure. All right, Terrell, let's go back to you for another pick here in week 6. We've got 2 more for each of you. Then we'll get to the upset special and the parlay of the week. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Last week was not good, so we got to bounce back from this. So last week, Andrew said, Joe, please, no matter what happens, don't let me bet the Panthers anymore. Now, do I have to do that with you again today? Because I feel like you're on the Panthers this week.
I mean, you could do it, but you're going to miss out on money. I've been telling you the guys about the close your eyes special.
Oh, here we go.
We keep coming back.
But you did it with the Panthers before and it didn't work.
All right, but we then got on a heater. We went and we cashed the Rams outright. We went and we cashed the Cardinals outright when everybody told me I was foolish to take both of those 2 teams. Absolutely foolish. And yet they cashed as outright dogs. So here we go. We have the Carolina Panthers who play the Falcons pretty well. We have a dome team going outside in Carolina. And then let's look at what the Falcons have done this season. The line is +6. I want you to remember that. Week 1, they lost by 8. Week 2, they won by 1. Week 3, they lost by 5. Week 4, they won by 2. And week 5, they won by 6. They have not won a game by more than a touchdown this season. Why? Because its offense isn't that good. The defense is lackluster, and they let the Bucks go up and down the field on them. And you had the red rifle. Now we have the red rifle in a close your eyes special. Why are we not taking this? Of course, it's supposed to be ugly. It's supposed to be nasty. You're supposed to look at it and be like, there's no way I'm going to bet it. But you're going to bet it anyway, and it's going to hit. Give me the Carolina Panthers +6. I think that Andy Dalton and Chuba Hubbard, this offense is going to go up and down the field on this defense of the Carolina Panthers. Deontay Johnson going to have very, very good game here. And then Kirk Cousins is going to give me one. I know it. Kirk Cousins is absolutely going to give me one. This is a perfect letdown spot after that crazy overtime win on Thursday Night Football. Yes, 6 points. 6? No way. I'm not laying 6 points with Kirk Cousins in this Atlanta Falcons team. Give me the Panthers +6 and sprinkle on money line.
You know what? You're not wrong. There definitely could be a letdown here, especially after that incredible performance. But we'll see. We'll see what.
He had 504 touchdowns.
Well, anything's a letdown after that. But
it's because he got Darnell Mooney, dude. That's why.
That's right.
Yes.
Best wide receiver on the
he
planet,
was
Darnell
wide
Mooney.
receiver 69. That's insane. The fact that where's he at right now? Let me go find out his new. Where's his wide receiver standings now? 69 was insane.
He's got to be top 20 after what he's done so far in these couple games. Has to be. Speaking of close your eyes, the Colts are playing the Titans this week. Let's talk about the Titans are home favorites in this one. Andrew, how do we approach Titans Colts?
You bet on the team that's favored whenever they're playing the Colts, because 15 of the last Colts 17 games, the favorites have won. So this is the process that you follow. And when you look at the Titans, I remember talking about this on the show last year, where when the Titans are at home, they play significantly better. And a lot of it has to do with their offensive line. Offensive lines don't travel well, but they play much better at home. They're 5-6 at home since the start of 2023, 60% against the spread in their last 10 home games. And when you talk about two teams kind of going in different directions, the Tennessee Titans are coming off a bye week. They are fully healthy across the board, whereas the Colts, Anthony Richardson is coming back off an injury. They don't have Michael Pittman. He's not going to play in this game. Josh Downs is missing practice. He has a toe injury. Starting running back, Jonathan Taylor, is hurt. Trey Sermon, the number 2 running back, he's also dealing with an injury. So Shane Steichen is running out of pieces to work with here to get this offense up and functioning. And to make matters worse, he's not facing Jacksonville this week. He's facing an actual defense in the Tennessee Titans that's been really good and underrated. And they haven't got enough credit because Will Levis keeps turning the ball over like a madman. So, yes, that's the one concern is, well, Levis is just going to give the game away, Erickson. What are you thinking? Well, Anthony Richardson also tends to give away games as well. And I think that he's ended up going to be the starter in this game. I think that he's going to play. So, for me, I'm going to back the Titans playing at home against the undermanned Colts offense.
All right. By the way, Darnell Mooney is wide receiver 14. I just looked on Fantasy Pros. So 14 on the year. That's a pretty good jump from wide receiver 69. A steal indeed. Look, you and I were both in agreement on that. How many mock drafts, Andrew, did we do where I took Darnell Mooney at the end of the draft? I did it in flex. I'm just mad because I had to drop him in flex because I had so many injuries. I had to drop him this week 2 before things started going well, and I'm regretting it ever since. But that's the game we play. All right, we've got one more from each of the guys here. Let's talk about your Giants, Terrell. They are playing the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow look good. The defense, not so much. So how do you approach Giants, Bengals, and what could be a potential over?
Well, we're looking here, and as we time of recording, Malik Neighbors is on track to play. If Malik Neighbors plays, come on now. Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson have been amazing this year, just peppered with targets, double-digit receptions in games. Like, they've been so good. The offensive line has held intact. And this defense for the Bengals is horrible. They even called them out. They got called out, and they said, "Yeah, we've been playing like crap." They used another word, but we're a family show, so I'm not going to say that one. But it's been really, really bad. And I think everybody keeps backing on Joe Burrow just figuring it out and pulling through. And, hey, they're going to get a bounce back spot after losing that game, and they're playing the Giants, and this is prime time, and Daniel Jones is bad in prime time. No, we have a defense, and they do not. Like, that's simply what it is. The Giants have a defense. They have a very, very good defense. In fact, the Giants lead the league in sacks. So I think that they're going to get to the quarterback, and they're going to throw Joe Burrow off. But this is more of just a fade of the betting market because everybody is betting the Bengals laying 3.5. Everybody. There's 80% of the money on Bengals laying 3.5 in a primetime standalone game, yet the line keeps falling towards the Giants. Why? Because, of course, reverse line movement, they know something. That is a huge system that I can't just ignore. Primetime game, reverse line movement is simple. You take the Giants. At the very worst case scenario, Giants lose this game by 3.
On BettingPros, you can see where the money's coming into. So it's a great way for you to fade the public when you're seeing those things happen. Again, you can also set the line alerts too. So if you're waiting to see when Neighbors is in or out of this game and make your move there on the over or something like that, use the tools at BettingPros to make sure that you're getting the best line at the best time. Let's get to you, Andrew, for one more here. Let's talk about our New England Patriots, since we just talked about Terrell's New York Giants. Drake May's going to make his debut. I'm worried. I'm worried. This is how you break your new toys. I want to keep them in the original package for as long as I possibly can, Andrew, because I feel like as soon as we unwrap it, it's going to start to lose its value. So Texans, Pats, what are you doing with it?
Gerard Mayo simply couldn't wait for Christmas. He had to open up the Christmas presents. He's like, nope, we got to do it. Drake May in October. It's happening. You know, even they're playing Jacksonville next week. We got to open it up against Houston Texans and their number one pressure rate against our offensive line that cannot block at all. So those are obviously the hurdles Drake May has to overcome in this Patriots offense is the pressure. And that's obviously baked into the touchdown 7-point line here with the Patriots at home. But the Texans, this is just a spot where they never cover these spreads. Look at what they've done. 4-12 against the spread in their last 16 games as favorites. 4-10 against the spread as a favorite since the start of 2023. 11 of their last 13 wins have been by 7 or fewer points. They don't blow out teams. And now you're telling me they're going to blow out the Patriots on the road without their number one wide receiver, Nico Collins, who's been the reason they've been able to put up points in past weeks. This offense hasn't been functioning at nearly the perception that we all thought heading into the season that it would perform at. So you have Stephon Diggs. Well, what's going to happen with him? I think he's going to get locked up by Christian Gonzalez. So that you're limiting what type of weapons the Texans have offensively. Yes, Tank Dell, I think, can step up in this matchup, but we know the Texans, without Joe Mixon, they continue to run the ball inefficiently. That's not going to lead to scoring points. That's not going to lead to teams blowing them out. So I'm not really high on the Texans in this particular matchup to really put it to the Patriots on the road. And Drake May, what worst case scenario, he's just as bad as Jacoby Brissett was. But I just don't think that's going to be the case here because behind a bad offensive line, what can he offer that Jacoby Brissett couldn't? Mobility. The ability to just make plays off script and do something that Jacoby Brissett could not. That's why Mayo's putting him in because, hey, I know the offensive line is terrible, but Jacoby can't do anything behind it. I think Drake May can. That's why when we're talking about the prop show, Drake May, give me all the overs on that rushing guy. It's going to be going through the roof.
Did we get that number yet? Because I said 22.5.
I haven't seen it
What
yet.
is that number?
I haven't seen it yet, but he averaged 56 rushing yards per game in college the last 2 years, so I'm going to take the over. But I think that the Patriots can keep it closer. They should be 2-0 against the spread at home this season. They've kept games tight at home, losing. They should have won last week because Jalen Polk scored the touchdown, and they should have beat the Seahawks in overtime. So I'm going to back the Patriots +7.
So if I put on my villain hat, villainy, I love it. Doesn't that mean they should be starting Joe Milton?
Nah,
I don't disagree, honestly. If they wanted to really keep him in bubble wrap, I don't disagree.
Mobility is what you're looking for.
Well,
Maybe we've seen
Andrew,
both.
by the way, I was pretty close. On Monday when we talked about this and made a joke, I said at 22.5. It's 24.5. I just found it.
No.
So
Did it
does
open
exist.
at 24.5, or has it been bet up?
I don't know. All I see is 24.5. That's where I see right now. So
Teaser,
Wait,
that's going to be on the prop show.
for Drake May rushing yards, 24.5 right now. Yep.
Let's take that over.
I'm gonna bet.
That's right, boys.
Let's doing it right here on the show. All right, so those are the guys' favorite picks for week 6. I have my upset special, and I think we might have to come to the realization, folks, that maybe the Denver Broncos aren't as bad as we thought they might be. The defense is pretty good. They're at home. I know the Chargers are coming off a bye, but I'm not really afraid of the Chargers. I'm just not. They've had a lot of injuries to deal with too, and I just don't know how healthy that team is. So, like Terrell says, you bet the money line on your underdogs, and look, give me the home dog Denver Broncos +3. And on the money line at +130, I like that. And if you want to make some extra money on it, let's put it with 2 things that I feel confident about. Now, last week, I was confident about a couple things that did not go my way, but we shake the dust off. We move on. We're on to Cincinnati. And by that, I really mean we're on to Philadelphia. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles on the money line along with the Broncos money line. And then give me the Buffalo Bills -2.5 to kick the crap out of the New York Jets, because normally when a team fires their head coach, I run. Andrew knows this. He's been doing shows with me forever. I run to bet that team. They rally around the new person. They rally around everybody, and they play better football. Not this time. Not with the Jets. No. This is an organization going in the other direction. So give me the Buffalo Bills with the points. Give me the money line for the Broncos, and give me the money line for the Eagles to find a way to win against the Browns. It might not be pretty, but it's going to be a W off the bye week. That, my friends, is your parlay for week 6. Gentlemen, good times as always here on the show. Make sure you follow us for all of our bets, including Drake May over rushing, because I think we're all going to have that by the time I end this show today. Again, bettingpros.com/Joe/Terrell/Erickson. That's the way to do it. And that'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on for the villain and the Undertaker. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.